Hello, students. Welcome back for another class. So, as we have started module 3, so two classes I have already made on module 2, module 3. So, this is your third class on module 3. So, today's topic is phase shift oscillator. So, as you already you have learned about oscillators in your previous semesters, right? RC phase shift oscillator. You have learned in your, I guess, AEC subject, right? So, so there you have learned about the necessary conditions to be met for the oscillator to produce oscillation. Means an oscillator is capable of producing oscillations without taking any input, right? Without taking any input it is capable of producing oscillations as the output. And for it to keep doing this, it should satisfy certain criteria conditions. This is what the conditions we have already learned. Okay, so let us have once again a brief introduction for oscillator criteria here. So see here, for oscillations to be sustained, the Barkhausen criteria must be fulfilled, must be satisfied. What is that? You have two conditions. So only if these two conditions are satisfied, then only the oscillations will be produced and it will sustain, it will keep on producing. The first one is loop gain around the circuit must be greater than or equal to 1. The overall gain of your circuit should be greater than or equal to 1 only. Either it should be greater than 1 or equal to 1, not less than 1. Then phase shift around the circuit must be 0. The overall phase shift which is happening from input to output should be should be 0. Should be 0 means there should not be any phase shift. Okay, these are the two conditions to be satisfied. Now this is the very basic circuit. This is the basic circuit. The above circuit which you see here, the upper part, so I will divide this circuit into two parts. The upper part is of op amp where it has one R1 resistor and R2 resistor as feedback. R1 is input, R2 is feedback resistance. Then the second half part is RC network. I will call this as RC network, where you can see it has got three capacitance and we require three resistance. Here you can see here only two are visible, right? The one resistor is here R1. R1 is playing the role of a third resistance. Okay. So this three capacitance, three resistance, we also call this as RC network. Okay, and the upper part is with along with the op amp. Okay, now why we require this RC network is because this particular circuit which is present on your screen, it will it is capable of satisfying both this criteria. Both the requirements are satisfied for this particular circuit. How is that? The loop gain around the circuit must be greater than or equal to 1. We will see whether it is greater than or equal to 1 further when we proceed into this topic. Okay, and the second criteria is the phase shift around the circuit must be equal to 0. Here if you see the circuit diagram, it is working in inverting mode. Can you see the input is given to inverting terminal, the op amp? It means when the input is given to inverting terminal, output is going to be inverted, right? So if there will be a phase shift of 180 degree. But as per the criteria to be satisfied is that the phase shift must be 0. But you are getting 180, right? You are already getting 180. Then you should do you should add another 180 degrees, so that 180 plus 180 becomes 360, which is nothing but 0 degree. Understood? So the upper part of the circuit is giving you 180 degree phase shift. So you should add another 180 degree, which is given by RC network, so that it becomes 180 plus 180 360. Okay. Now here we will be using 3 capacitance and 3 resistance because each RC is producing 60 degree. Each RC network is producing a phase shift of 60 degree. So 60 plus 60 plus 60, 3 RC networks, right? So one RC will produce 60, second will produce another 60, third will produce another 60. 60, 60, 60 makes 180, and the upper 180 will make total 360. Hence the criteria is satisfied and the output is produced. Okay, the output is your oscillations. So output waveform is shown here, the output voltage and the feedback voltage. A small feedback voltage is shown here. You can see it is inverted, isn't it? Because the upper op amp circuit is working in inverting mode. Let us go a little more detail into this. Yeah, the phase shift oscillator consists of inverting amplifier and RC phase shift network as shown above, right? The amplifier has internal phase shift of minus 180 degree. Understood? Minus because it is getting inverted. Huh? Don't be surprised how you got minus. Because input is given to inverting. So minus 180 plus 180 becomes 0 degree. This is how it can also be explained. Minus 180 plus 180. Plus 180 is free with RC networks. Minus 180 is with op amp. So minus 180 plus 180 will give you 0 degree. Now RC phase shift network consists of 3 capacitor resistors, right, including R1. Yes, RC network produces plus 180 degree. A total phase shift around the loop is minus 180 plus 180 is equal to 0 degree. Amplifier has some gain, hence Barkhausen criteria is satisfied. Means amplifier has some gain which will be 1 or above 1, right? Hence both of the conditions are met, satisfied, and the circuit will produce oscillation and it is capable of sustaining it. Now the frequency of oscillator output depends on the capacitor and resistor values of phase shift network. Now to obtain 180 degree phase shift with your RC network, we should have Xc equal to root 6R. Xc equal to root 6R. This is because we want our each RC network to produce 60 degree phase shift, isn't it? 60. That is total, it should give 180 degree. So this is why we should take Xc equal to root 6R. So this gives an oscillator frequency as f equal to 1 over 2 pi root 6 RC. F equal to, you have to remember this formula, f equal to 1 over 2 pi root 6 RC. Okay. The RC network which provides 180 degree phase shift also has attenuation factor of 29. Means the RC network which we are using here, along with the op amp is producing a attenuation of 29. Means it is producing a loss. What is attenuation? Opposite of gain, right? Means it is producing a negative gain of 29, right? So if you simply use this circuit as it is with its present condition, then it will simply produce a negative gain of 29, that is attenuation of 29, isn't it? Now the problem is, as per Barkhausen criteria, it has to satisfy the gain, that is the gain should be greater than or equal to 1. If there is a loss of attenuation of 29, then your circuit will no longer satisfy that criteria, isn't it? So the gain is minus 29 then, right? Now you should increase your gain such a way that minus 29 should become plus 29. Minus 29, if you increase your gain to plus 29, then that attenuation will be cancelled with your gain and your gain will become at least equal to 1 or above 1. At least 1 or equal to above 1. So your gain must be sufficient to cancel out that attenuation. Okay, the attenuation which is contributed by this RC network. So this is what mentioned here. Yes. The RC network which provides 180 degree phase shift also has attenuation factor of 29. This means the amplifier must have a voltage gain of 29 for the voltage gain to become 1. You understood this point? So as there is attenuation of 29, then the amplifier voltage gain must be at least 29, so that this 29 and attenuation 29 and gain of 29 should get cancelled and you are remaining or at least with 1 should be there as the gain. So if amplifier gain is less than 29, see there, if the amplifier gain is less than 29, the circuit will not oscillate. Why it will not oscillate? Because attenuation will become more than gain. Attenuation will become more than gain. So if gain is not equal to 1 or above 1, there won't be any oscillations. Okay. So when the gain is greater than 29, the oscillator output will, the oscillator output is distorted. Means if it is just 1, just if when your gain is just greater than 29, there is a chance that oscillator output will be produced, but it gets distorted, means disturbance will be there. So the gain should be slightly greater than 29, means it should be at least little more greater than 29, so that oscillations can sustain and there should not be any disturbance in your output sinusoidal waveform. Okay. So this is your design resistor R2, which is connected in the feedback. The feedback resistor is calculated as the output voltage by input current. Okay. Where I1 is same your 100 times of IB max. R1 is R2 by 29. Why is this? Because gain is equal to AV is equal to 29. AV is equal to 29. And C is equal to 1 over 2 pi root 6 F into R, because F is equal to 1 over 2 pi root 6 RC. Okay. Let us take one problem here. Using 741 op amp with supply of plus or minus 12 volt, design a phase shift oscillator to have an output frequency of 3.5 kilohertz. Very important problem. So this is your regular op amp, 741 op amp. With a supply of plus or minus 12 volt, design RC phase shift to have an output frequency of 3.5 kilohertz. Let us see. Yes, this is how to find R2, output by input resistance. What is output here? Output will be how much? Output is your V naught sat. Output is your V naught sat. How to take V naught sat? Given supply voltage is 12 volt. So V naught sat will be VCC minus 1 volt. VCC minus 1 volt, that is 11 volt. See here it is written. V naught is equal to VCC minus 1, that is 11 volt. So R2 equal to 11 volt divided by 100 times of IB max will give you R2 equal to 220 kilo ohm standard resistance. This is standard already. And R1 equal to R2 by 29, because 29 is the gain. So this will give you R1 equal to 7.6 kilo ohm, where the standard available is 6.8 K standard value. Substitute all the values to find capacitance very straight away. This is very simple step. You will get capacitance around 2730 picofarad. Okay. Yeah. So let us end here. Let me make another class for another topic.